As a quorum is present, the subcommittee will come to order. The clerk will open the roll, and members are asked to indicate their presence on the electronic voting system. We have all members present. The clerk will close the roll. We have 8 individuals present. Welcome to the first meeting of the 2024 Department of Motor Vehicles Subcommittee. I have the pleasure of serving as chair. Before proceeding with the agenda for today, I would like to establish some ground rules. As chair, it's my duty to keep the order and decorum and ensure that the subcommittee operates effectively and efficiently. We may not always agree on the issues before us, but it's my hope that the discourse will remain civil and that the work of the subcommittee will take place in an atmosphere of cooperation and collaboration. All discussions go through the chair in order to maintain the order and decorum, and I would ask everyone to respect each other and to please use the request to speak button on their screens if they have a comment or a question. I will recognize you in the order in which you have been asked to be recognized, and I will also ensure that we allow sufficient and equal time to hear from the public and allow questions from members. For bills proceedings, I will allow 3 minutes for patrons to present their bills to the committee and 1 minute per speaker in favor and in opposition. And that goes for those who are participating in person as well as those who are participating virtually. And of course, there will be 3 minutes for the committee members to ask questions. Individuals who have traveled to participate in today's meeting or will travel to participate in future meetings, we thank you for your input, and it is always welcome and valuable. Viewpoints should be made at the podium in an orderly fashion, and we ask that you identify yourself and state if you represent any particular group. Thank you to the clerk, to our attorney, and to our wonderful IT staff for their support for making this meeting possible. And with that said, let's get to today's agenda. In general, I will proceed in the order in which the bill is listed on the docket for the day. That said, we will hear bills from members of the subcommittee at the end of the meeting to ensure that we can keep the meeting flow. Today on the docket, we have 3 bills. House Bill 95, House Bill 296, and House Bill 548, which their respective patrons have asked to be stricken from the docket. House Bill 95 is patroned by Delegate Waxman. House Bill 296 is patroned by Delegate Ballard, and House Bill 548 is patroned by Delegate Walker. The chair will entertain a motion to have all 3 bills struck from the docket at the patron's request.
Madam Chair, I move that House Bill 95, 296, and 548 will be stricken from the docket as requested by the patrons.
Do we have a second? Members will cast their vote on the electronic voting system. The clerk will close the roll. The 3 bills have been struck from the docket on a vote of 8-0. Thank you. The first bill before the subcommittee is that of Delegate Orrock. I do not see him here at the moment. Is Delegate Green down there? Okay. Well, I guess Delegate Austin, it's you. We just threw everything I said out the window. Delegate Austin, would you like to begin with House Bill 840?
Yes, Madam Chair, I would. Thank you.
Thank you.
And with joining me today is Cheryl Wilson. Cheryl is the director of the Virginia VA 250, of which I chair. And Madam Chair, we brought before you today the request for a license plate that because it is a commemorative license plate, as we've had with other commemorations, we're not required to have the number of signatures to get this plate supported. We think this plate represents Virginia well and our VA 250 well. The VA 250 is the 250th birthday or commemoration, the semi-quincentennial of the nation, not just Virginia, but the nation. And we in Virginia are somewhat right now leading the nation in the move to demonstrate that we are the birthplace of the nation. You know, the origin of our country started here. We have 8 presidents from Virginia who have served. So in doing so, it was recommended to us, and I apologize, Cheryl, I didn't bring, I thought that my LA put the copy of the license plate in my folder, but it's not here. Do you have one? I do. We have a license plate that's been designed by DMV. This is what the plate will look like. And all $15 of the proceeds will go to the VA 250 and $10 of the proceeds will go to the DMV. There'll be a $25 fee for the plate. So I personally think it's a way that we can further demonstrate and represent the importance of the significance of this history. So, Madam Chair, I would ask favorably for the committee to look upon approval of this license plate.
Thank you, Delegate Austin. Are there any questions from the subcommittee?
Motion report.
I think we have to at least hear those in support and opposition, but I like that you're testing me. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak in support of the bill? With administration? Would you like to? Okay. We don't have anyone listed online. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak in opposition of the bill? And there's no one listed online again. Delegate Wiley, what was that you asked?
Madam Chair, motion report.
Do you have a second? A motion has been made and properly seconded to report House Bill 840. The clerk will open the roll and members will record their vote electronically. Delegate Austin, would you like to vote in affirmative?
Yes, ma'am, I would, please.
I don't think.
Can I do that for you?
Bill,
I think you need to do it.
Delegate, you mind? Thank you.
Okay, got it, thank you.
The clerk will close the roll. House Bill 840 reports 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Next, we have House Bill 844.
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chair, House Bill 844 is a CDL conformity bill, and I have an amendment to offer for that bill. Clerk, report the amendment.
Madam Chair, would you like me to report the amendment?
Yes, please.
Madam Chair, the amendment is on line 281 of the introduced bill after possible insert, but no later than 10 days from receiving such notification from the FMCSA. And that should be available online shortly.
Madam Chair, the amendment conforms the bill to the Senate bill SB 353 as a cognate.
Okay.
And so that was the reason for the amendment.
Okay. Delegate McQuinn?
Madam Chair, I move the amendment.
Second.
That's a voice vote.
Yes, it has been moved and seconded to move the amendment. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone in opposition? Hearing none, the amendment is before the committee.
Okay. Madam Chair and members of the committee, HB 844 conforms the Code of Virginia to the federal regulations by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration governing commercial driver's license, commercial learner's permit, and commercial motor vehicles. This bill makes changes to Virginia's law necessary to preserve the $5.8 million in federal grant funding, which must be complied to no later than November the 18th, 2024. It also codifies budget language to comply with 2016 federal regulations for commercial driver's license CDL driver's training. HB 844 also prohibits the issuance or continued validity of commercial driver's license and commercial learner's permits after a drug or alcohol violation by the applicant, licensee, or permittee. Relevant stakeholders include a Class A driver's training school and CDL students. So, Madam Chair, that's what the bill does. It's, as you can understand, the date of November 18, 2024 is required. If not, we lose dollars from the federal government. So that's the reasoning for the bill.
Thank you, Delegate Austin. Are there any questions from the subcommittee Hearing none, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak in support of the bill? Okay. We have one individual who would like to speak in support of House Bill 844 online. That is Mr. Dale Bennett. Mr. Bennett, the floor is yours.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank you very much. I am Dale Bennett, President of Virginia Trucking Association. Don't want to infringe on your time other than to say we support this fine piece of legislation to keep us in conformity with federal requirements for the licensing of commercial drivers operating in and through Virginia. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone here in opposition of House Bill 844? And we do not have anyone online in opposition of House Bill 844. The committee moves on a motion.
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of this bill, to pass this bill, and along with the amendment.
Delegate Wiley.
Second.
Having been moved and properly seconded to report House Bill 844, the clerk will open the roll and members will record their vote on the electronic voting system. Delegate Austin, just so it's on the record, do you vote in the affirmative?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Delegate Wiley took the privilege of using my yes button. Somewhat prior to getting my authorizations, but
Yes, I know. Okay.
we all know Delegate
Clerk will
Wiley.
close the roll. House Bill 844 reports with amendment on an 8-0 vote. Lastly, we have House Bill 845. Delegate Austin?
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chair. House Bill 845 is another abandoned vehicle bill. You know, we have heard these bills for many, many years, and what we're doing in the course of hearing these bills is improving the process for DMV. HB 845 creates efficiencies for abandoned vehicle acquisition process. State code currently requires the DMV to contact jurisdictions directly to obtain lien holder and owner information for abandoned vehicles. Not all are timely or even respond, resulting in the process that often takes up to 6 months to complete. HB 845 addresses this issue by allowing the DMV to use nationally recognized vehicle ownership database to validate the owner and lien holder information. Ms. Ford is here from the DMV, and I've talked with the DMV, and they seem to be in agreement. I think there's peace in the valley for this with everyone. And so, Madam Chair, I would ask that the committee report the bill.
Thank you, Delegate Austin. Are there any questions from the subcommittee? Seeing none, is there anyone in attendance who would like to speak in support of the bill?
Ben Dendy with Vector representing Copart, which is a large online salvage reseller with a major presence in Virginia. We support the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have one individual online who would like to speak in support of the bill. Mr. George Mahone. Can you hear us? Mr. Mahone, you may be muted. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Madam Chairman, can you hear me now?
We can. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, my name's George Mahone. I appreciate you all letting me speak this morning. I own and operate Skimino Enterprises Towing out of Williamsburg, Virginia. Also the president of the Hampton Roads Towing Alliance, and I am a member and chairman of the Virginia Association of Towing and Recovery Operators, and I'm president and I'm chairman of their legislative committee. We are in favor of this bill as it will help streamline and hopefully get some of our vehicles processed quicker. That's about all that I have to say. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Is there anyone in attendance who is in opposition to the bill? We do not have anyone listed online. The committee moves at a motion.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Delegate McQuinn?
yeah, I'd like to make a motion to report House Bill 845.
Second, Madam Chair.
A motion has been made and properly seconded to report House Bill 845. The clerk will open the roll so that members can cast their votes on the electronic voting system. The clerk will close the roll. House Bill 845 reports 8-0. Thank you, Delegate Austin.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Next up, we have Delegate Green. I believe that is House Bill 425.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee. House Bill 425 permits the Department of Motor Vehicles to release personal non-medical information necessary in use in connection with proceedings administered by the department and the parties to the proceedings. Now, this bill, every year, the DMV has administrative hearings, and there are parties to these hearings that are being prohibited the release of exculpatory evidence in these hearings, which would help them mount a defense. The information that will be released will not be released to the public. It's only to the parties that are involved in these hearings. And I have members from the DMV here who can answer questions much better than I can. But it is only involved in parties involved in these proceedings, and it is not a general release of information by the DMV. And it puts us in line with federal laws in this matters. So.
Thank you, Delegate Green. Are there any questions from the subcommittee? Delegate Wiley?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And maybe this is a question for the Commissioner. Could you give us some more information in terms of the information that is given out? Just kind of describe more, if you may, in terms of this information, this party information that could be given out to the public or to the parties affiliated. I'm just kind of concerned about this kind of open Pandora's box and kind of going somewhere we don't want it to go. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chairman, members. This is basic information. For example, if a motor vehicle dealer is being charged with inappropriately issuing temporary tags, well, the idea is to give them the right to have the information on who the owner of the vehicle is. It's just the basic information about the owner and the vehicle that they have.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Mm-hmm.
Delegate Fagans?
Question for the patron. When would this actually need, like, in terms of when would this be necessary? Like, what's an example of this being necessary for the public?
And I'm going to call the commissioner back up here, but I can give you an answer, but she'd be much more qualified.
Madam Chairman, Linda Ford, DMV Deputy Commissioner.
I gave you a promotion.
Yeah, that's okay. This is just in hearings, and this is limited to cases that are before our hearing officer, and it's to give them the information they need to help defend themselves in a hearing when they're trying to say, I didn't do this. Well, they need to know who is asserting that they had an issue or that they didn't sell them a car, that sort of thing. And I'll be honest, we thought we had the authority to do this for a long time. We only recently realized that, in fact, we did not have that exemption in Section 208. So this is what we would consider a cleanup bill, if you will, and it is an agency bill.
Are there any further questions from the subcommittee? Seeing none, is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak in support of the bill? We do not have anyone listed online in support of the bill. Is there anyone in opposition of the bill? And we do not have anyone listed online in opposition of the bill.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion. I'd like to move to gently lay this on the table.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. A motion has been made and properly seconded to lay this on the table. We will vote on House Bill 425 electronically. Delegate Austin?
Madam Chair, substitute motion.
Yes.
Madam Chair, I would move to report this bill. I think this bill is very important to the agency.
Do you want to use your?
The second, Madam Chair.
Yes. Okay, so we have received a request to lay on the table, which has been properly seconded, as well as a motion to pass the bill, to report the bill. Therefore, we will first take up the first motion to lay the bill on the table. The clerk will open the roll. Okay, motion fails. Oh, sorry, we have closed, the clerk will close the roll. So motion fails 4-4. The second motion is to to report House Bill 425. The clerk will open the roll. The clerk will close the roll. Bill reports 7-1.
Thank you.
We're waiting for Delegate Warrock. The committee will go at ease. Back. Delegate Austin, would you like to take the motion?
Yes, ma'am, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I would ask that we pass by for the day HB 219, Delegate Orrick, please.
Second.
A motion has been made and properly seconded to pass by Delegate Orrock's bill, House Bill 219, by for the day. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Anyone in opposition? Hearing none. And as there's no further business before the subcommittee, I will entertain a motion for us to adjourn.
So move, Madam Chair.
There has been a motion and a second made to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Anyone opposed? We're adjourned.